Hello, my name's Kelly. I channel my spirit guides and I just cut my hair. What do you think? Couldn't cut any more off the back, so I cut some off the front. And this morning I heard Trevor Noah on a talk show talk about the loss of the village and how we replace the village with commodities to support us instead. Childcare instead of the neighbors, and meals cooking. One woman cooks every meal. One household cooks all the meals instead of multiple meals together, shared, multiple families sharing meals. So I'm curious because Trevor Noah has been kind of I didn't really see him as seeing things. And he's the only one talking about that particular issue, that when the village was taken away, we had to replace it by paying for things. So I thought that was really insightful, and I thought that we really need to stop all the division. Even me, I need to stop looking at people as right or left. And then I realized he's probably the Illuminati, and the Illuminati, they look bad, like Puff Daddy and all these people. They look bad, but they're actually actors. They're playing a role to help humanity wake up. They're playing the good guys and the bad guys so that we join sides, and then they're going to make it hard for you to stay on that side, like Elon Musk and Trump. Everybody, this is the funniest thing this year, all those bumper stickers that say, "I apologize for buying this Tesla." And it's just an example of how people are going to be pulled in one direction and then dropped. And then they're going to be left by themselves when they had that idol to follow, who they can't follow anymore. And now they're going to scramble for what their identity is again. And it's going to happen so much that you have to stop following people to find your identity. You've got to be sovereign. You've got to decide who you follow based on whether or not they have information you need, instead of their personality that I identify with. Because you're unique. You can't identify with anyone outside of you because you have your own personal blueprint to follow. And that's what humanity has to learn. We have to learn that we cannot worship idols, and we cannot hate idols either, because that's still giving power to the idol's identity. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask Nana Anna, who is obviously on both sides of this. She understands how the Illuminati works. She probably set it up because they're part of the Masons, right? Okay. So, and then another thing is our vagus nerve is our communication. It's also where we manifest from. So the healthier your vagus nerve is, and your spinal cord and your flexibility and your bodily health, including your digestion, your entire body is a toroidal shape, right? Because the hole goes all the way down, which makes your whole body a donut. And that's the same thing as the toroidal field of your light body. Your light body is a toroidal field with a spectrum of colors, which are your chakras along your spinal column. And the healthier that spinal column is, where those chakras are energetically centered, the healthier you're going to radiate who you are through this toroidal field of manifestation. It's loud. Oh, look, what are these guys? They got scared off someone's property. Okay. Nana Anna, could you elaborate on this whole manifestation process and maybe the Illuminati? Dear Kelly, of course, I'm always here. I'm always here for anything that you're interested in asking about. This is a critical development in consciousness to see oneness. The beginning of seeing oneness in everything is seeing the duality in everything. You know, when you see the duality, then you can recognize that it's just options. It's just options. It's not, I'm always going to choose that dual aspect of something, that end of the spectrum of that spectrum of duality. Everything that's dual is on a spectrum. Even liberal and Democrats Republicans and Democrats, they're spectrums. They're the ends of a spectrum. They're not really different. It's just that the Republicans want less government and the Democrats want more government. And actually, nobody belongs on either end of that. To say that you belong on either side of that is artificial. Everybody has an opinion somewhere in the middle about how much they want government to be involved. It's not all or nothing. You know, some people who identify as... Oh my God, you hear that? That was a heron flying onto a tree, but it sounded so loud and screechy. Okay, so every individual falls somewhere on a spectrum, and it's complicated because it might be with medicine they want government help, but with parks and rec they don't, or with schooling they don't, but they have a chronic disease that they can't afford and they can't deal with, so they need support with it, right? So again, the government replaced the village. Oh wow. The government replaced the village, and it's not taking care of our needs. And so actually the root of the duality of politics is the loss of the village. So very relevant for this topic to bring in Trevor Noah's comment, because those sorts of things you're seeing, Kelly, as if, unveiling the Illuminati. That could be kind of what we're looking at. The Illuminati was a gesture, a collective gesture to dance for us so that we had the emotional response that we were familiar with while we were in jail in the prison planet. We were still being pulled back and forth, right? And that's kind of what kept our consciousness confused, was the being pulled back and forth part. And that left us struggling with our consciousness distracted. Our energetic frequency was torn in multiple directions, and we didn't have the focus of energy to put towards building the heaven that was a natural state for humans on the planet. We were manipulated out of focusing our entire energetic body towards heaven. And we then split, and our energy was broken into the direction of all the conflicting, confusing thoughts that we're having, which include fighting with people, disagreeing with people, struggling for your needs to get met. Okay, so the Illuminati stepped in to like keep that conflict alive, but in like a fun way that you're playing with the choices of what you look at, and you're playing with the horror because it's in movies, and you're playing with the idea of success leading you to drugs. You know, we